Good evening, everybody. It is Mark Coe for the 25th of April. Hope everybody's doing well. I want to point out today the difference between a couple markets that were similar in their gapping, but recognizing something I talk about quite frequently, determining who is in control of the market. I'm going to focus kind of on more of a shorter term. But before I get there, I want to point out to anybody that hasn't seen it, kind of what the model has done of late. And if you're interested in the model, please give us an email. Let us know. This is the latest Euro Yen trade. So this trade was put on, as you can see, the 18th of April. We went long on the model. So what's so great about the model is it is literally set it and forget it. And I know for a lot of people that's very appealing. For some, they want to be very active, they want hands-on. But for those that want to manage it and check it once a day, this is really an ideal scenario. So model Euro Yen goes long 115.97 at the open on the 18th. Our stop loss, as you can see, was 15.24. So a really controllable stop loss for a little bit of a longer term trade, nothing too crazy. We actually got the exit signal on the open Sunday night, so at 5 o'clock open. There was a couple ticks of slippage, but as you can see, it was a heck of a winner. On one standard lot, 100,000 Euro Yen position was over a $4,000 in P&L to be had there. So it was a long entry at 115.97, a take profit at 20.59, less than a week's work, and pretty nice. Just to take a look at where the model sits right now, we are still sitting long sterling yen. We exited the Euro Yen. Sterling Yen is long on the model. We've been long from the same day that Euro Yen opened. Sterling Yen entered at 36.55, and again sitting there with a profit today, less than the Euro Yen and off probably the highs, but still sitting with a good profit nonetheless. So the model is doing well. As you can see, this is from P&L from September. Over 100,000 in P&L on those model trades, so it's pretty nice. And if anybody has any interest, give us a call or send us an email. But I just want to make sure I brought that to everybody's attention. All right, now for the good stuff. Here's what I wanted to point out in terms of what we're looking at in determining who's controlling the market, right? Buyers are controlling, sellers are controlling. That's what we want to determine. And so to do so, I'm simply drawing top edge and bottom edge consolidation zones. That's what I'm drawing. So on the gap open this week, you get a dollar yen that trades higher. So we're waiting for a level to get established. We're waiting to really call it a bottom edge or a top edge. And so this is what you start to form. This is the beginning. This is the early New Zealand trading. This is where the retail platforms open. So we kind of discount that from a standpoint of too much importance, but we want to see if it comes into play in terms of building edges. And it doesn't really have much effect early on in terms of the edges. This is what starts to get developed in there. 110.30 is top edge, and you see some formation down here into about 108.90-ish, somewhere around there. So the question becomes, who's controlling the market? And so right off the bat, if you're using what you're forming on the early Asian trading, you get sellers control the market, meaning they were able to take out bottom edges, right? So sellers have it at the top, and they're also able to push it through the bottom. The next thing it creates is a new bottom for us to then focus on. So we get rid of that one. Now we look at the next bottom. So same answer or same question comes to us, who controls it? Well, at this point, the buyers have it at the bottom. Now we get a rejection into Tuesday early Asian trading. We get the sellers actually get it through the bottom, but instantly it gets rejected, right? So when you see a rejection of a bottom like that versus sustained movement, that's how you look at it. It's rejection of lower prices. So now you're back in this zone. You're back looking at 0973 to 1030. And so the difference becomes, now that you know buyers have rejected lower prices, it becomes a lot more bullish scenario for you, right? So buyers are now, not only do they have it off the edges, but they have absolutely rejected lower prices. So this was actually a great trade for us because on Sunday night's FX analysis coming into Monday, I diagnosed what? I diagnosed a buy zone between 0950 and 0970. That was there. at this time of the day on Sunday evening, New York time. And as you can see, now this was the FX nightly analysis that comes out every night. This was not a model trade. This was the FX nightly analysis. Wanted to buy dollar yen between 50 and 70. That's all it did for us. But again, look at from a technical standpoint how it continues to play out. So we already said buyers rejected lower prices. So at worst case scenario, you know you have your bottom edge to play on. But then you're also looking, okay, who controls it at the top edge? Do sellers control it? They hold it. Do they control it? No. Buyers control it at the top edge. How do you want to be positioned in the market? How do you want to be positioned? The buyers held the bottom. The buyers controlled the top. How do you want to be positioned? It's a long side market. How do you get involved in a long side market? You buy pullbacks to bottom edge or pullbacks to former top edges, which is what this is. This is a former top edge. Here's your pullback in here into 1035, and then it's off to the races. And we traded above 111. Where's the next spot you can look to get in? If you've missed that one, where's the next one? You're looking for consolidation, remember? So in a trend, you may not see massive consolidation. You have to find your consolidation zones, right? So this was the last, right here. See this last little dip before we consolidated? As we got through that, there's your pullback. That's 30 minutes after this breakthrough that it spent around 110.53. 30 minutes you could have bought the 110.53s. Where's the next one above there? Right here. It's the same pattern pushing through, right? It's a big candle pushing you through. It's a pullback to that. So you have 110.53, 110.61. Where's the next one? You could do the same thing here. You don't really get much of a pullback. That one doesn't really give you a pullback. So 2 out of 3 attempts gave you pullbacks. There's another one here, right? It's tiny little consolidation. Big bull candle pushes it through. Pullback, pullback, all to that same level. Remember, you're not chasing the momentum. You're not chasing the momentum. You're buying the pullback. And that's how you want to focus. Look at euro dollar. Euro dollar was very similar on Sunday night, which is that it gapped higher, trades lower. And so we're looking, saying, who's controlling this on the short term? How do we play the gap market? Who's controlling it on the short term? What was euro doing? Euro put in this high. Remember, that's early New Zealand trading. We kind of like to focus on these levels because it's after the actual 5 o'clock open that a lot of us will look at. So that's where we're looking. That's where we're looking. We're looking in that section. Who's controlling it? Sellers continue to push the bottom. Sellers have it. All it's developed is some type of a bottom edge, so we consolidate. So you can't really call this a buy-side market during the day. Sellers just have it off the edge. Where can you call it a buy-side market? Right over here, early Europe on Tuesday morning. That's where it becomes this buy-side market. How do you get involved in a buy-side market? You buy bottom edge or buy pullbacks to former top edges. Here's your former top edge. Here's your pullback to it, right here. That's at 6:30 a.m. East Coast time, New York, Tuesday morning, right here. Where did that trade? 0875 to 950. This is this top edge. Who wins at that top edge? Buyers. Here's your breakthrough. Here's your tap back to it. Now it's consolidating as we come into early Asia. That's how you get involved. So you really want to look and determine who's controlling the market, and it gives you a great heads up for how you want your focus to be, especially as the shorter term, the intraday trader. So as I said, this analysis has been doing really well for us. I hope you guys check it out. But more importantly, I hope you're doing your work, and I hope you're doing well. And cheers, and we'll talk to you all soon. Have a good night.